current favorite track is, and here he is, Idris.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
How are you? Hold on. I got my headphones in. How's it going?
Good. I'm so excited to be talking to you today. Where are you tuning in from?
I'm in my studio in London. Where are you?
I'm in Berlin.
Oh, I love Berlin, man. I love Berlin.
When was the
I
last
miss it. Last time I came to Berlin was probably 2018.
2018. Did you go clubbing?
Yeah. No, I was promoting a film there. It's so long ago, man. It was pre-pandemic, so everything's a blur.
Totally. I can't get the as well. Um,
No.
Thanks so much for joining us. Very exciting. You have a new release out on your own label, Seven
Yeah.
Wallace.
Thank you.
Yeah, Walk of Shame. How did that title come about?
Walk of shame, man. It's definitely something that I can relate to. Being a DJ, you're usually the last person out. When I was growing up, I came up from the sound system world, and sound system parties would play until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And you'll be, after you finish, you're literally walking. Sometimes I would take the train or the bus home with my records, believe it or not. And that walk of shame is real. It's a real part of your reality as a DJ. And then also as well, I've finished DJ sets and seen people leaving clubs, and it's not even the walk of shame. They just had an amazing time, and they look like they had an amazing time, and they look like they just haven't been home yet. So that's the walk of shame. And so I had made this record a while back, and I just, no one was going to clubs, right? So it didn't feel right to put the record out. There was no walking of shame because no one was going anywhere. And now, thankfully, the world's to a place where we can at least go clubbing again. It felt like the right time to drop the record.
Totally. Speaking of clubs, I see you have a residency at High this year. Are you excited?
Dude, yeah, I did my first one on Friday last week, man. It was nothing short of epic. I ain't gonna lie. It was excellent. The club room in High has an amazing sound system. It's a really good vibe. So that was, yeah, it was really good to be back in the room, back in Ibiza. Ibiza, if you're coming out to Ibiza, people, you're gonna have an amazing time because the energy is incredible. It feels like early Ibiza days where everyone was really excited to be there, and and you're there for the vibe and the music, and you could tell people were just really happy to be out. You know what I'm saying? They're wearing their best clothes and shit.
Yeah, there as well, and I experienced the same thing. It was so exciting. What time were you on? Was it all right?
My set is at 2 to 4.
That's so
Um, it's a good time, you know what I mean? So David Guetta and Morton have the live room, the big room, which was bonkers. It was really bonkers.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you invite any guests?
DJ Bluey. I don't know if you know Bluey. He's an artist that's put out a couple of records on my label. He's put out a couple of things on Ministry. He's dope, man. He's like one of the hardest working newer DJ producers that I know. And he opened up for me, killed it. Like he killed it so much. I was like, no, I'm joking. No, he killed it. He killed it.
Let me play.
Yeah, I was like, come on, let me on. But no, he was amazing. So, and yeah, I've got, a few. I go back to Ibiza, so it's interesting because my first gig was here, and then I'm back in Ibiza from July all the way through August, and I'm still putting together, my guest list for the DJs coming up. But yeah, I'm excited.
Super cool. And tell us a little bit about your label. It's been running since 2016, I believe. How did you
Yeah.
first start? What was the thought behind it? Why did you decide now? I mean,
Um,
fighter, you're a kickboxer. You're a barista.
No, man, I'm a jack of all trades, literally a jack of all trades. But no, so honestly, in 2010, I was living in America. I came back to film a TV show called Luther. Came back to the UK, and the address where I lived was a place called Number Seven Wallace Avenue. Was it Wallace Road, and it was an incredible address for me because it was coming back to England after such a long time. It reignited my, musicianship. Okay, I created a little studio in the living room, and I was making records out of it constantly while I was making Luther. And so Seven Wallace became basically my music hub and my music rebirth. When I say rebirth, I was DJing in America a lot until I started acting a lot. And then I stopped. I always made music, but when I got back to London, I really started making music again. So Seven Wallace just became the name of my sort of music adventure. And then I ended up calling my label Seven Wallace. And in the beginning, it was really about a place where I could put out my own music. It wasn't like anyone was offering me a record deal. So I was like, I just put it out myself. I put out a string of, records on that time. And then, like you say, 2016, 17, 18, I started to put a bit of energy into it, a bit more structure around it. Signed some really cool records. Some really great DJs came on and played some records on Wallace. And now we're maturing. Wallace has an opportunity. Even though there's a slant towards dance music, I'm not a typically dance music label. I'm a little bit spread out. So we had some African music with James BKS when he signed his first singles to us, and look after Shay Lingo, who is this incredible UK rapper, and I think he's going to change the game in the UK. He's so good. So, and also I've been putting out stuff related to some of my films and some film work. So Seven Wallace, really for the dance stuff, there's quite a lot of work on there, and I love that. I'm trying to ramp Seven Wallace dance up, but at the same time, I've got one eye open on just talented musicians and music.
How do you find out about that new music? Like, do you get sent demos, or do you do a lot of?
Yeah, so our team, we have a small team, and essentially we have our ear to the ground. We get sent a lot of music, and you can send music to Seven Wallace. There's a contact info on the Instagram, but a lot of music gets sent to me. A lot of DJs get sent to DJs send us demos and stuff. Because we're small, we're a bit slower than most labels that have many people, but at the same time, we are right now sort of ramping up a little bit more team around Seven Wallace, because I really want to support, the artists that come here. So, and look, I get sent a lot of music for my DJ sets, and a lot of it is unsigned. So I'm always keeping an ear on the ground,
That's cool. And
Yeah.
What's your production workflow? I mean, how does that even work if you're, for example, shooting a movie, promoting the movie? I see you have a big studio in the background, so I guess it's not all.
Yeah. That's a little tiny studio. You want a little tour? Look, this is I say tiny, but it's a tiny little room. And this is my little DJ booth over there. So, but like you say, like I'm shooting on sets and whatnot a lot. So, I transition between like my laptop and the studio a lot. You know what I'm saying? I use Studio One, PreSonus, and Serato Studio, and both these doors are easy to use. I basically come up with my ideas, set up a structure, come up with the ideas. I work with a great engineer called Rory, who just helps me pull out my ideas. So my workflow is really like, I make songs on my phone. If I've got an idea for a synth or whatever, I'm bringing out my phone, plugging it and sending it off, and then getting it embellished. I'm not ashamed of that. I know some producers would be like going, "Ah, you're inauthentic. You're not making your own music." I do make my own music, but obviously because I'm stretched doing so many different things, I basically share the workloads, you know. But there's quite a few DJs that do that, but you know, it feels a little bit disingenuous to be like, "Oh, I'm a DJ and I make my songs," when I know that I use engineers a lot. I'll be honest with that. You know, I do because, and also, you know, when I want strings or, you know, extra stuff, I get musicians to play on records for me.
Sure. I mean, sometimes you just need to focus on the stuff that you're actually really, really good at, you know, and then outside. A lot of
Was that shade? Was that shade?
yeah, a lot of people, and I find it legit and fine. It's like we've got this discussion at the office all the time, and we've all come to the agreement it's perfectly fine. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So, what do you think you're better at, DJing, producing, or acting?
Um, wow. Look, if I'm honest, right, you know, acting is like this blessing that I have, you know, that I've been blessed to be able to sort of step into characters and bring them to life. Okay. But as long as I've been doing that, and I've been doing that since I was, you know, 14 years old, I've been DJing. Okay. But I know in terms of like what I naturally have as a gift as an actor, I don't naturally have as a DJ. As a DJ, my strength is in tune picking. You know, I can hear a good record, I can hear a good blend. What I have to work at as a DJ is technicals. You know, I'm one of these DJs that's I don't pre-program my whole set. I sort of kind of go, "Oh, I want to play this, I want to play this, I want to play this," and I DJ live. I don't like to sync. And you know, some DJs go, "Why don't you just sync? It's so much easier." I'm just like, I just never came from that school. You know, we mix records live. I started on turntables, and you really have to keep an eye on your pitch. You know, and so yeah, as a DJ, I feel like I've definitely got more to learn. I was just doing Creamfields North, right? And Creamfields North was bonkers. I mean, if you were there, it was just the most incredible environment. The sun was shining, and there was a sea of people. And my palms are sweating as I'm mixing because I know if I clang any record, you know what I mean? Like that's a whole lot of people listening at the same time. When I could just press the sync button and just be cool with it, I just never do that. So I feel like as a DJ, my skill set is picking records. I'm an entertainer. I like to entertain. You know what I'm saying? You know, as much as I want to be the cool DJ, I want the crowd singing as hard as they can. So I tend to go between, you know, sort of really hard techie stuff that people don't know and stuff that they do know for sure. But anyway, to answer your question, I think that I'm a more talented actor.
There one festival or one club that you really want to play at? That's like on the bucket list, basically.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Fields, you played high
the,
left.
uh,
You played Creamfields and you played high, so what is left?
I've done that. Well, ultra.
Ultra.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've been, this is Miami, right? I feel like, you know, I did DJ, but not at Ultra. I did a party that was sort of like attached to it. It wasn't, I just did a set. I would love to do Ultra and do it properly, you know what I'm saying? That would be dope. Um, there's, I mean, there's a bunch of festivals that, you know, all over the world that, you know, I haven't managed to do yet. I would love to sort of spread out a little bit more internationally. You know what I'm saying? I've done LA, you know, sound, and that's been incredible. I did Coachella, obviously, and I did EDC, Vegas. But, you know, I haven't been to Rio, and I hear it goes off in Rio. I'd love to do Rio. I haven't spun in Berlin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe we should get you a gig.
just putting it out there.
Totally. Let me see what we can work up for you.
Yeah. And then, I love small rooms as well, with a decent setup. So I kind of love doing gigs where I'm unannounced and just show up and just, do my thing. But I don't get to do that as much.
Sounds good. Beatport Christmas
Yeah.
party unannounced.
I'm there. Trust me.
Thanks so much. It was great to talk to you. Anything else you want to announce or what's coming up for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, this summer Seven Wallace got a few releases. We've got this kid signed to us called Caden, who is going to be a superstar. He's really young and he's dope, and got very lucky to have a couple of his records signed to Seven Wallace. Bluey's got some releases, and look, I'm just putting it out there. Some DJs might think, Idris's label, what, but we do the work. We respect the culture a lot. So if you want to, get involved with the Wallace team in London, we'll support your records.
Sweet. So everybody check out Seven Wallace on Beatport and Idris' new single, Walk of Shame, also on Beatport, of course, and obviously at Hi Ibiza. And yeah, I hope to see you there at some point.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
hope you come and see me. All right.
And it was great. Thank you.
Take care. All right. Bye. Bye-bye.